Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to the Pranzata podcast. I am your host, Andrea Pranzatelli. Today we have a special guest. His name is Daniel Caprio. He is a comedian from New Jersey, a stand-up comedian. Before we get into it, don't forget to hit subscribe because this is 2022 and the goal is to get the count up to 1,000 plus this year. So if you like to listen to this podcast, this is a podcast where I interview comedians and musicians from the New Jersey, New York, and Philadelphia area. So don't forget to hit subscribe. But let's get right into it. I have Daniel Caprio here. Did I say your name correctly or did I screw it up?
Yeah, just offhand, what number are you at right now in subscribers?
Not near, kind of, okay. I don't remember off the top of my head, but
is it more than 39?
Yes.
Oh, good. Then you're way ahead of me.
So you have a YouTube channel. You don't have a podcast anymore.
Yeah, I'll be at 1,000 in no time.
Dude, you got to keep posting shit regularly.
I don't. Only when I have something that I really want to put up.
Okay, so that kind of brings me to the question. We're just going to jump right into it. What would you say are your long-term goals with comedy? If we're talking about the advertising and stuff like that. I know you're a very active comedian.
To put up the worst open mic sets that I can on a regular basis now.
Which he does.
And spend way too much on another special and then not be able to put it on streaming services. I really gotta... I tried a couple times with the one I have out now and it got rejected.
I want to open up by saying, I just want to introduce him to everybody. So I feel like his energy as a comedian in New Jersey, you have one of the most magnetic energies. And I'm not just saying that to be nice because you're here. I feel like you're always on 100, except for now. For some reason, right now, you're very chill.
I'm in your house.
So I feel like you're controlling your energy. But usually when I see you at an open mic, I'm like immediately like, I want to sit next to you because you're just so vibrant and so full of energy. And it definitely plays out in your stand-up. So I think you should be proud of that.
Thank you.
But suddenly the most chill person ever in home life, though. But okay, so you said you make a special. You've been making specials, and I know you put out specials. What do you?
One special so far. One.
So
working on another one.
How does the production of that look like?
It's out. It's on my friend's channel who has over 1,000 subscribers. We thought it would get more eyes on it immediately, and he turned out to be right. And how did it play out? How are the reviews of it? Good so far. I mean, people that I don't like it don't really tell me to my face about it.
Did you get any trolls on it?
No, not yet.
Do you ever get trolled at all on your social media?
Not really.
Maybe you don't have like a big enough following to get them or something? Yeah,
well, I mean, I made it a point a couple years ago to not post anything negative online about anything. Yeah, like for any reason. Like the only time I'll put anything remotely negative on something is like a tongue-in-cheek joke, like making fun of Richard Dweck or some other comedian that I know.
But I feel like you don't necessarily have to post something negative in order to get trolled. Like you can actually post something positive and get trolled. People can, like, you can have a great day and be like, yeah, I'm looking great. And people will be like, no, you're not, ugly. Like, you know what I mean? People can fuck with your shit. Even
I don't post really any selfies. The things that I post are really just basically, it's...
You posted something about your taint today.
Yeah, and my body, different body functions, and where I'm going to be performing, and shows and artwork.
What are your... We were talking about this with like the last few guests, so I'm curious to see your perspective as well. How do you feel like, and I know this is like a big pressure question and no one really knows the answer, but in your opinion, how do you feel like this year's going to play out with comedy? Do you think that things are going to be like the Omicron's going to fuck shit up, or do you think it's just like a temporary thing? Things are going to open up?
I think things are going to just keep going forward the way that they have been.
Yeah.
Because when the lockdowns first happened, people were like, oh, is stand-up comedy over? Is it all done? And I'm like, no, that can't happen.
But do you think it's going to be, I'm sort of wondering if it's going to be seasonal. Like every season they're going to be like, oh, lockdown and then it'll just be kind of a routine.
I don't want to think about that
I
word.
mean, they didn't lock down comedy clubs though. I have a music gig in a comedy a music gig in a comedy club. I'm the musical guest at a comedy show this Wednesday in New York City. So I think they're only
plug already.
What's that?
Plug already.
I think they're only closing down like very large events in New York City, like
Joe Rogan's things.
Well, from what I saw, he closed down something in another country because he's not vaccinated and they wouldn't let him in. I don't know if they wouldn't let him in the country or they wouldn't let him in the club unvaccinated. But I think local things, I think like they closed down Broadway, like some major productions in Broadway, but smaller comedy clubs are not closed down. I feel like the only time people are canceling is if they have COVID themselves and they're like, oh yeah, I got COVID, I can't do this event. So
I'm not canceling regardless. So will put me in a bubble.
Did you get vaccinated?
I am not discussing that information.
I had a guest on here who was not vaccinated, who was very open about it.
Well, we should shun him immediately. Name names.
I'm not gonna. Ricky.
You didn't have to say his name.
We can.
That makes sense though.
He was super open about
Ricky
it.
Seems
he
like,
said it right on the podcast.
Ricky seems like the kind of guy that doesn't use protection and won't put anything foreign in his body at all.
We actually had a long conversation about that in general, and yeah, you're right. Sorry, Ricky, we love you. He wants to come back on the podcast though. Yeah.
Not if he gets the variant.
Have you gotten it yet? Have you gotten the original COVID?
Mm-mm.
You have, or
not that I remember.
I think I've asked you this question before, but I think I asked if you're Italian, but you said you were Greek or you're half.
Yes,
Greek?
I'm infected with Greek, and I was infected with Italian at birth.
I think that might be another reason why I was like drawn to your energy when I met you, because I was like, this is my people. I could feel it. Because I feel like Italians have that like 0 to 100 in them. I could see it in you. I could see it within this conversation.
I got a vaccine to prevent Mediterraneanness, and it didn't take.
Didn't you say you worked in a Greek restaurant for a while?
For 4 years, yeah.
Do you currently do that?
No.
What do you do now to support your career?
I'm not going into that.
Why
either.
not? You don't want them to hear about it?
I make all my money doing comedy, every cent.
No, you don't.
And the government doesn't know yet.
No way. There's no way.
I wish.
You're still at the Greek restaurant, I'm sure.
No. They are still open, though. It's surprising.
How was restaurant life for you?
And what?
How was restaurant working life for you?
It was up and down.
I used to
Depends on who I worked with.
I worked in the restaurant. Dude, I feel your pain. I worked in the restaurant business for almost a decade, like maybe 7 or 8 years.
Yeah, I think total, I'm probably close to a decade.
What was your
adding up everything?
What was your favorite thing about the restaurant industry, working in it?
Free food, probably. And dating in the restaurant.
I was going to say, there's something about working in the restaurant business. Everybody just dates each other because you spend all your
I wouldn't say everybody. And that's a good thing in a lot of cases.
You spend all your Friday and Saturday nights with each other, so you don't have a social life. So you end up just becoming best friends and boyfriend and girlfriend with your coworkers. I've had one. I'm trying to think how many restaurant boyfriends I've had like 2 restaurant boyfriends for sure.
Like actual
boyfriend. Yeah.
Term boyfriend meaning boyfriend.
I'm trying to think. I think I had 2. Yeah, I had one at Applebee's and I had one at there's a restaurant in New Jersey called Chimney Rock. I had 2 restaurant boyfriends. Yeah. Why did you leave the restaurant business?
I got tired of working with certain people who will not be named at the
like
Greek restaurant. Well, they've been banned since then. So it ended up, and the former manager.
Were they men or women?
All men.
I had a feeling because I feel like Greek men can be a little rough.
They don't like other Greek people. Like it's
yeah, but you're
confusing.
not 100% Greek, so you think they would kind of like you.
No, I guess if you can't speak the language, then you're not to be trusted.
You're a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Are you a hot-headed person? Like, do you get...
I can be.
Because I feel like part of your stand-up is that you tend to get angry or irritable about things, like kind of like a Bill Burr-esque type of thing. Is that how your character is in real life, or is that just kind of your stage presence?
Yeah, I've been trying to move away from getting angry at specific people and more towards the things that dictate their actions.
Yeah.
You know, like I hate to use the phrase "don't hate the player, hate the game." But it is
like
that's how it, like I hate whole religions now. Like it's not enough to just hate Warren Jeffs to drop a name. Do you know who that is? Warren Jeffs?
I don't.
He's I think he's still the current leader of a offshoot of Mormonism called the FLDS, Fundamental Latter-day Saints. If you thought the first round was bad, this shit is terrible.
I see. I just got him on a roll.
And I get angry when people cape for this guy, even though he's in jail for the rest of his life for terrible things that I won't mention on your podcast.
I heard you ranting a couple weeks ago about Madonna, and I thought that was so funny.
Totally on a different topic. Yeah, it broke my heart. It broke 7-year-old Dan's heart. Had a huge crush on Madonna. Like she's having a current feud as of the date of this podcast with 50 Cent on Instagram. It's
still going on.
Doesn't make any sense.
It's still going on.
Yeah.
No, but you were kind of ranting about how you don't like her fake ass.
I don't like any fake asses.
But
especially why now Madonna?
Listen,
why?
I'm not going to argue with the beauty of a real ass, but she's like 60 years old.
That's
if she's
fine.
if she's gonna play the game and she's got the money to do it, why not? You know, people are changing gender. She's an entertainer.
Just shove a huge fake ass at this point in your life and not think that it's going to be made fun of by a possible rapper / now Instagram comedian.
Why is Kim Kardashian and those types of folks? I don't know.
I'm not enamored with Kim Kardashian's ass either.
But why is it socially acceptable for her to have a fake ass, but Madonna...
I think
the Queen of Pop
I think time is running out.
People were saying the same thing about Fred. Was it Fred Durst? Somebody made a new album. And
Time's up for Fred Durst.
Do you know Do you know the comedian Tim Dillon?
Yeah.
He put something on. I don't know. It was like one of those short clips, those reels or whatever. Mm-hmm. And he was like totally trolling the New Year's thing with Avril Lavigne. I don't know if you saw that. He's like, what year is it? He's like, she's 57. She's Joe Rogan's age. Is everybody else dead? Like, it's just the funniest thing.
I am looking forward to the new Limp Bizkit album. I want to put it out there.
Okay.
March of the Disco Elephants, I believe is what it's called. And it's been in the pipeline for, I think, the last decade.
Okay. Besides being old and getting plastic surgery, all that aside, older musicians, do you think it's tacky for musicians in their 50s and 60s to put out an album?
No.
Neither do I. Mm-mm. I was having this argument with somebody in the comedy game, and they were like, he's done, he's old. And I'm like, what does age have to do? That would be like, what does age have to do with music? That would be like, what does age have to do with comedy? It's the same thing. You can be a successful... There have been comedians who have popped off and become successful in their 40s and 50s, you know?
And have gotten better.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or worse. It depends. I'm looking forward to certain bands putting out an album after like 20 years.
Yeah.
So it could be terrible, or it could be another classic. I
mean, I understand maybe the way you present yourself could be a different story. Like if Britney Spears was putting out an album today and was still, and now it kind of plays into the Madonna ass thing. Now I'm kind of like, I was arguing against you, but now I'm kind of like supporting the theory with what I'm saying right now. But like if Britney Spears was like still in her fucking, I mean, she's doing all kinds of shit, but if she was still trying to play out this like teenage, or okay, like,
yeah, I think it depends on the content of the album. So you can't put out Baby One More Time Part 2 now.
I feel like as a musician, you have to mature and grow as you age, you know? Mm-hmm. And I guess you're saying Madonna isn't doing that. She's kind of still flying with the
I mean, what does a huge fake ass have to do with your music now? I mean, her music... Does it? I don't know.
I've listened to some of her newest music, and it is very much progressing.
Ass shaking?
No, it's very much progressing with the times. Like, it's very electronic.
Okay.
Which I didn't like it on her. But I like the fake ass on her.
Okay. I think she has cornrows now too. I don't like.
Yeah, that's a little weird. Yeah. But like I was saying, I think she's just playing the game. She's just not ready to give it up. You know.
I like cornrows on the blonde woman from Hustle and Flow. That works. On Madonna, Sorry, that's just my opinion on a celebrity who I will never meet and will never be able to have my fantasy from age 7.
So why did you have a crush on her when you were just because of her music?
Because I was dumb. I used to have celebrity crushes. I don't have those anymore.
Who's your celebrity crush now?
I don't have one.
Okay, can we have a conversation about this? So because I overheard you saying this, you were clearly joking, but not joking. You said that you should be following hot Instagram models, but instead you follow sea otters.
Yes, and I don't know when I said that, but I didn't say it today.
So
I did say that.
Can we discuss this? So if everybody doesn't know, he has a weird fascination with sea otters.
All otters.
Oh,
there's many different varieties.
What kind of? Can you name them?
Giant river otter, American river otter, Asian small clawed otter, something nosed otter. There's a couple extinct ones. Sea otter. I don't know. Great Northern otter. Italian otter.
I'm really curious about the evolution of this otter fascination that you have. Did this start as a kid, or was this when did the otter thing?
I think those like cute videos that pop up on like social media that show like an animal befriending another animal of a different species. That's probably where it started. I don't know. I just latched on to. I tried to incorporate that into a brand, like my brand, for lack of a better.
Isn't your name like your Instagram handle? It's like Otter. No,
it's just my name.
Didn't you? There's something. You have a photo of you with a giant otter or something.
Yeah, in the beginning of the special, there's like a face morph, and one of the posters, like the artwork, has my face morphed with an otter. And the other one has me. It's a real picture, but it was digitized and animated. It's me looking at a giant picture of an otter in San Francisco.
What do you like about otters?
Their playfulness, and I don't know. They like blankets. And
actually, now that you mention it,
swimming.
I remember when I was little, I went to SeaWorld, which probably is terrible for otters, but I did go when I was little, and I do remember there being, I think it was is there otters at SeaWorld?
Yeah.
I think it was an otter, and I think I was really surprised with how human-like it was.
Yeah, they're really intelligent.
Yeah, they're like super.
You put like toys, like toys you see at like a dentist office that have like you could. They're like for toddlers, but these otters are like playing with them like they are toddlers and solving puzzles and trying to get like balls or things out of like plastic containers.
I do remember that. I do remember being like, this is like a little person. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And so are a lot of those animals.
Fun fact, the CIA had an otter, I think it was called Operation Lutra. I think that's the scientific name for otters. And they had them trained to like put backpacks on and like traverse like sea and land. And the CIA, real up on otter intelligence.
That makes sense, because if they could train them at SeaWorld, might as well train them.
I was just hoping the CIA would dose me on round 2 of Operation, MK Ultra. Let's get the second round going.
So slight change of topic, comedy. I'm kind of curious, how long have you been doing comedy for?
8.5 years.
No way. You've been doing
It's going to be 9 in May of this year.
All right. Everybody look at this guy's face. And in your head, guess how old he is. He's been doing comedy for 8 years.
8.5.
8.5 years. So one would assume he must have started when he was like 12.
Right.
Because he looks so young. But I was shocked to find out that you're in your late 30s. 30.
I can't comment on that.
Why?
Because the government's watching.
We can't talk about it?
I can only talk about the government's involvement with otters, not me.
I'm not going to give away the exact number if he doesn't want to, but...
It's part of a bit. Otters, bit. My age, bit. Words I make up, bit. Jackets that I wear, bit.
How do you come up with your bits?
It just falls into place, really.
Do you have a writing routine? Like, do you actually sit down and write things out?
Whatever I think of during the day, I put in my phone immediately. Then at the end of the week, normally on Sunday, I transcribe everything from my phone to my laptop, and then I back that up on 2 external hard drives, because I can't tell you how many times people told me, I have one notebook and I write in it all the time, and then I take it to an open mic and I leave it there and I don't notice it until 3 days later, and hundreds if not thousands of jokes are gone
I do the same thing that you do. I don't back it up, but I write it. No, I kind of do actually. So this is what I do. I write it in my phone. I have like a notes thing on my iPhone that just says comedy. Okay. And I do the same thing. I won't write out a full joke. I'll just write an idea, like a premise. Oh, this idea came, whatever. And then later, like you said, in the week when I have time to write, I'll sit down and look at all my ideas, and I'll pick out the one that I think has potential. I'll be like, I think this one has potential. And then I'll sit down and actually handwrite that. Sometimes I'll do it on the computer too. And then I'll try it out in an open mic. And I'll usually try it like 3 or 4 times. And if I don't get any reaction, I'll can it and then go through the process again. How many, I asked this to the last guest, so I'm curious what your answer to this would be. How many times do you try out a joke personally before you can it?
2 or 3 times, and I put it on ice. I never totally get rid of it. I've brought jokes back from, I wrote a joke in 2013 that I never thought would work. And then I tried it and it did, because I reworded it. It's about narwhals. For anybody that doesn't know, they have a large, what people think is a horn. It's a giant tooth on their face.
Didn't you say you recently challenged yourself to an like a totally clean special? Was it a special?
That's the next one. Yeah, when I say clean, it just means there's no curse words. It's going to be loaded with innuendo, because I want it to be like representative of me still, not just be like, hey guys, I'm talking about the ice cream or Jesus loving ice cream.
But when you say innuendos, does it actually, when you say no curse words, like, can you use the word pussy?
Is that a curse word?
I feel like it's dirty.
I guess I better not then. I better just use something in place of that. Because I can say vagina.
Vagina.
Yeah.
Would it be kid appropriate, this special?
Yeah. I guess. I remember when I was a kid, every one of my friends was watching stuff that they shouldn't even watch it now that they're adults.
Like what?
Like all like hard R rated like movies that are like actually for adults. Like they were never meant for children.
What about kids shows that totally have adult? Like I used to watch Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah.
Do you remember Ren and Stimpy? I thought it was great.
Even Pee-wee's Playhouse was like, it's loaded with friggin' innuendo.
I don't necessarily agree. I mean, listen, I don't have kids, so I don't know. But I was raised by a father who didn't necessarily shelter us from curse words and stuff like that. And I think that's a good, like, I don't know. Like I said, I don't have kids, so I don't know how I would feel if I was raising them. But I don't think it's necessarily a good thing to shelter your kids from no sex, no cursing, no this, and that, because they're going to find it at their own anyway. So it kind of makes more sense as a family just to be open and talk about it. What's your opinion on that?
And then once they find out, they're going to love it. They're going to latch onto it. Like, where has all this meth porn been my whole life?
So were you kind of sheltered as a kid? Like you couldn't watch?
Yeah. More so with my dad than my mom, but my mom too.
How is your family life? Like, are they still married?
No. Well, my dad passed away in
sorry to hear
2009. That. So even if they wanted to be, they couldn't still be married. They were divorced long before that. And my dad was more religious than my mom, so that's why he was more strict.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And what about your mom? Did she kind of have like
she was a heathen, and she still is.
Are you religious?
I used to be. Now, probably not so much.
Catholic?
No. I went to Catholic school.
I just assumed because you were Italian, it's like Italian and Greek.
What if I was Irish? Would that even be worse?
We were just talking about this on my last podcast, how Italians hate the Irish people. Like my grandma hated Irish people.
Well, I think I just don't like the Catholic Church. It's not that I don't like Irish or Italian people.
So what religion were you when you were religious?
For the most part, it was a Baptist, like not Southern Baptist, like just regular milquetoast Baptist.
Yeah.
And You can't say I am anymore.
What pulled you out?
Just reading the Bible, like actually sitting down and reading it for myself and not having any other like outside influence. I'm like, wow, this isn't adding up. And neither is any other religion that I feel like I might join. I
haven't read any religious texts, and I want to, just to educate myself. Like, I'm not a religious person.
I recommend the Bible.
I tried to read it, but I think I read the Old Testament because I couldn't understand what the fuck.
Oh, that's the good part.
I couldn't understand what the fuck. The problem with, I tried to read the Bible because everybody I know who believes in the Bible is so happy that I was like, what kind of crack cocaine is in this thing? Like, I want to know why, like everyone who's like, people who are like, Jesus, like something just takes over their body. Like the people who really love Jesus. So I'm like, I just want to understand what this is. So I actually made an attempt to read the Bible once, and it was old English. Like I couldn't understand what the fuck was going on. And I was like, how can I, but I think I just.
You should get a teen study Bible. It makes it easier to read.
I probably need that. I was never, I didn't have the best childhood, I guess you could say. So I didn't pay attention to school, you know, growing up.
Yeah, I guess that'll do it.
So I didn't read a lot, you know. I'm just starting to learn a lot of things as an adult. And like, I didn't read Shakespeare. So I feel like a complete idiot when I'm reading those kind of old languages. Like, I'm like, what the fuck does any of this mean? But I would love to learn. I would love to learn about the Bible just to know, you know. I want to know what this crack cocaine is.
Yeah, you might get disappointed when you realize people really don't follow the book that they are reading. Fun fact, Jesus was not born December 25th, and there's no verse that says you must go to church on Sunday.
What does it say?
Neither of those things. It said he was born in a manger, and you should really just get together in your house.
I do that.
That's where, you know, fellowship occurs. According to the book.
That's kind of, that wouldn't be approved in 20.
No. How could we make money that way?
True. Good point. Okay, I'm not that bad of a spiritual person because I believe in something, but I'm not religious. I pray at home.
So you're agnostic.
I'm agnostic. That's exactly what I am. And I pray at home. You know what I mean? Or whatever. Like whenever I'm feeling fear or whatever.
Or on the subway.
I seriously, like if I'm ever in public and I feel fear or sadness, I just stop and pray, like sometimes to myself. And I always thought I was a piece of shit for not going to a church, but you're saying the Bible says that's what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to pray at home or whatever.
Or right before an open mic. I have, believe me.
So what's your like spiritual beliefs now? Are you totally atheist now? Or are you more agnostic?
No. I believe in God, but I don't. I guess I feel like my worship is just personal. I don't feel like
that's how I feel too.
And I don't feel like I have to push it on
other people.
Yeah.
Well, that's
or talk about it if people aren't primed to actually have a discussion about it. You know, because you could talk till you're blue in the face about religion and people, and that could really turn them completely off to you.
I don't know if this is just me, but I did notice a correlation between people who are religious and people who believe in QAnon. Like, and I think it's like, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
Well, I mean, that's with any sort of strong belief. I try and avoid all of it. You know, like religion, because politics turn into people's religion. You know, like your political party is like the Democratic National Convention becomes your church, which is terrible. But you know, I guess it's better than the Democratic Socialist National Convention. I never want to set foot in that fucking synagogue.
I was gonna say,
for lack of a better word,
I think the type of people who are not open to discussing potential flaws in the Bible or potential flaws in religion or like QAnoners and stuff like that. I think those types of people are not comfortable with the unknown. So I think it's easier for them. And I'm actually not comfortable with the unknown always either, but I still don't like latch onto a religion. I just accept the unknown, which is scary. But I think certain people, they just can't accept the unknown. So it's easier for them to say, I can't take all these possibilities. And sometimes I wonder if that's just a smarter way to live. Like if it would be smarter just to be closed-minded, just to be like, I don't want to think about this shit. God, the Bible, yeah, QAnon, whatever. Like just to kind of shut your anxiety off. Because I feel like it's that, what is it? Ignorance is bliss. You know what I mean? Sometimes I feel like being open-minded could be overwhelming. But I think certain people who latch onto religion, it's because they just don't want. And I'm sorry if I'm insulting everybody who's religious. This is just my opinion. I'm sorry. But I do think people like that, they just don't want to accept the possibility of openness or unknown, you know?
Even with comedy, it can get like overwhelming just talking about, you know, like being expected to know certain things. And I just like, I love comedy, but I don't want to talk about it all the time.
Oh, I've heard other comedians complain about that they said whenever comedians get together, they're so immersed in comedy culture, like this joke and that. I'm kind of into that stuff. I think it's fun to talk about. I talk about it a bit on this podcast as well. But I know what you're saying. Like sometimes those people can't get out of it. It's like
especially when other people are on stage. It's like, oh, I want to watch it live right now, and you're trying to talk to me about the fucking goddamn Ali Wong's new special. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Number one, and number two, I'm trying to actually respect this person that's on stage.
So and people talk to you while you're sitting
all the time. And it's really like that really like annoys me, like you know, and I try to not like overtly, you know, look at him and be like, look, just shut the hell up, you know, but it's like, look at me, like I'm my attention is laser focused on what is actually happening live.
I have noticed at open mics you are like obediently observant of the community. I don't talk to people, but I do admit, and you're probably not gonna like this, sometimes I text. You don't like that. I know you don't like it. I can see it on your face because you're an obedient listener, and I think that's a good thing. I think you respect everybody, and you try to learn something, and you try to gain a new perspective.
There's a time for side pieces, and there's a time for stand-up comedy. When that's fucking stage lights on and somebody has a microphone in front of their face, even if they're bombing worse than they've ever bombed in their life. Number one, I want to see that anyway. And number two, I want to be in the moment.
Yeah.
And I want, like, it's cliched, but you know, like you give to get. And it's like, I wouldn't want everybody to be on their phone. I call people out. Like, if you're going to be on your phone in the front row, I'm calling it out. You know, it's just like, just have a little bit of attention saved up for this 1 or 2 hour event, whether it be a mic, a show, a combination.
I have to,
But also, if you can't do that, there's the back of the room for that. There's a bathroom with your name on it. There's outdoors. There, you know, you could take a walk around the damn block and then come back in and then be like, oh, I want to see this person.
That's something I really want to work on this year. It was kind of a goal for 2021. I was like, I'm not going to be addicted to my phone. There was like a good 2 or 3 month period where I was really good with it, and then I got hooked back on it again recently for some reason. But I do want to do what you do and live more in the moment, because I feel like my brain is getting dopamine from likes and texts, and like I feel like my brain is being controlled.
I'm glad I killed most of my dopamine receptors, so I don't have to worry about that anymore.
Well, you don't smoke cigarettes or anything anymore, right? Didn't you used to smoke and you used to drink?
I never smoked a cigarette in my life. No.
What do you have any addictive otters besides sea otters? What are you, comedy, I guess? Like you don't have any addictions besides the ones you killed?
Yeah, I guess so.
Coffee?
I drank it. I don't drink it excessively. I don't think.
Yeah, man. I feel like, you know, I'm not like a huge drinker or smoker. Like I'll have an occasional social cigarette or I'll smoke a little weed, etc. But I am addicted to the phone, and I think it's fucking scary. You know, like I'm super addicted to it, and I like I said, I am fucking rude sometimes at these open mics. I don't talk to anybody. I think that's really rude. But sometimes I'll text or check my Instagram or something like that, and it's just,
what if people that are there they're in the room and you're just texting
by the way
them?
People do that. People will check the Instagram of the comedian on stage
rather than just watching them.
Rather than just watch them. Like they'll take a picture of them, tag them, and like put it up. I think I've done it to you actually.
That's okay.
But no, it's I respect his you're one of the only ones I see who truly focus.
Well, what you could use your phone for a good thing and take pictures of people, even though some people get weirded out by that. Now all I do is
I do that too.
Instead of uploading them immediately and tagging people, because some people don't like that, and some people know that they had a horrible set even through picture form, and they don't want that picture up. I send people. If I'm in your DMs, it's because I'm sending you live pictures.
I don't like when people tag me on pictures where I look ugly. It's not about this, the set. Like,
okay, but then you could be like, look, send me those next time.
Listen,
then I could choose what I feel I'm comfortable with.
I think it's funny when, like, you have, I just said, that was my first, like, I was just talking to him before the podcast started that I was so disgusted.
We'll edit all this.
I was so disgusted with how many likes I used in my podcast with Jesse Montanez that I was like, that's inappropriate. Like that, I was like, I need to change this behavior. It's disgusting. I hate myself. I want to kill myself. I feel like in this podcast, that was the only time so far that I used an inappropriate like. I'm just saying.
I like the cut of that jib. like it's like, I don't know.
Yeah. But what were we just saying before that? I got distracted because
ways you could use your phone for the benefit of humanity.
You
could wave it to when the host just, drinks too much tequila. I'm not naming any names, and I love you, who I am naming. But
first of all, I want to get a watch, and not a smart watch, because that's just going to get me hooked in. I want to get a watch that tells me the time so that I'm not touching the phone to check the time. Because once you touch the phone, it's like, oh, it's in my hand.
Do you record your sets with your phone?
Not always, which is stupid, which is dumb.
I record all my sets.
Yeah, I know I'm supposed to, but I do sometimes, but I'll do like a video recording, but I want to switch to audio recording because I don't know. I should record the video too, though, because it's kind of good to see your mannerisms and stuff. How about you? Do you do video or audio? Or both?
I do video of shows and audio of everything.
Open mics. Mm-hmm. I think I'm gonna start doing that. Audio of open mics and videos of shows.
There's only just a few, because when I start a comedy, I would want to, like, any video I got my hands on, I wanted to upload it, and I'm like, no, that's not the way to go.
I've only uploaded one video in comedy so far. Like, a lot of people are telling me, oh, I try to find your comedy on YouTube or your Instagram and I don't see it. I'm very, I don't know, insecure about putting that stuff. I've only been doing comedy for a year. I don't feel like I'm ready to showcase it, And when I do a show, I do it for myself more to try to grow as a comedian. And when friends actually come to it, I'm like, oh my God, like I'm freaking out right now because someone's actually here to watch me. But in a way, it actually puts a pressure on me to perform better,
I put up new, if I'm going to put video of like an open mic, I put it only on my Instagram and I cut it up and I put subtitles on it to where I'm like, I really like this new bit. And I like the fact that it didn't work even better. And then I got a laugh because it's like, it's just in that moment. And that way I could differentiate that from something I'm going to put on a special because that's what it is. It's like trying out new stuff. It's the newest stuff I got, and it's only here. Like, I'm not going to put that on my YouTube channel. I'm not going to put that on Facebook. I'm not going to put it. If it's in a story, I'll put some graphics up to like spice it up and whatnot. But it's like, that's an Instagram only kind of thing.
I think it's a good thing to show people that stuff too. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? To show people that it's not always the finished product. That there's a process.
And then I'm working towards this next special too. It's like. Yeah. There's a lot of bombing that goes into, just the amount of bombing alone on the last special I did is like months worth of like bombing certain jokes to like get them ready and word them right and have them actually, like be something that you want to put on a special.
Where did you perform your last special? Where did you record it?
Wawa Social Club in beautiful North Bergen, New Jersey.
And how many people showed up?
I don't want to say, but I sold 28 or 29 tickets to it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Where are you going to do the next one?
That's up in the air right now. It's going to be either in May or June, in between there, 2023. So I have a lot of time to get a venue.
Do it in May. That's my birthday. I'll show up.
May 8th is my comedy anniversary.
Oh, wow.
So May if it falls in line.
My birthday's May 25th, so
Maybe it'll be. Wait, that's Memorial Day weekend though, right?
Yeah,
I'm not gonna have it on my. That's what I didn't do with the last
yeah,
one.
I was just talking about this with one of my friends. Sometimes my birthday is on Memorial Day if my birthday's on a Monday. So if May 25th falls on a Monday that year, then my birthday's Memorial Day, but not every year.
Yeah, I'm not recording on that day.
Damn it. Well, I mean, I'd probably be doing something else for my birthday anyways. So I don't know why I want it to be on my birthday, but I'll go to it whenever it is because I like May.
Well, a lot of people are doing Memorial Day stuff if I chose to have it at a comedy show that day.
That's true. I had one of my friends, he has his birthday on July 6th and he hates his birthday because he said that everybody's hungover.
Still?
Yeah, because it's like on July 4th, everyone's like, woo, party. And then the next day they're like, he's like, hey, I'm having a birthday party. And they're like, oh, fuck. They're like, I don't want to go to that. So he hates his birthday. So that makes sense. You wouldn't want to do a big production like that when everybody's doing other shit, you know? Kind of like how last week, I thought my last podcast episode was great, but I didn't get a lot of views because I think everybody was Christmasing and shit like that.
Possible.
Where were you? You traveled somewhere?
California.
Do you have family in California?
Yeah, I go to see my brother, my mom, my aunt, and cousin sometimes.
Do you like traveling for the holidays or do you miss home?
I don't. I mean, my plane got delayed by 3 hours coming back, but I mean, at least it didn't get canceled. So,
do you like California?
Yeah, I like going there.
If you were to relocate to a city, where would you go for comedy? Do you think New York's
probably down south?
Really?
Yeah.
Like Austin, Texas, probably?
Maybe. I've visited Louisiana before. I don't know if I'd live there, but
they have a comedy scene there?
Not really, but I just like the food.
You're a big foodie, huh?
No, I'm not. I don't like that word, but Why
don't you like the word foodie?
I don't like it.
Why?
It sounds tacky. Even though half the shit I do is tacky. I mean, I don't like the word foodie. I don't like the word Mormon. I don't like the word cult.
What?
I don't like the word.
I like the word cult. That's not tacky. That's
I don't like what's behind it. The word.
Yeah, obviously.
I don't like.
It's got a pungence to it.
Name some other not like words that are like overused.
You don't like words that
I don't like friends with benefits. I don't like that word. I don't like those words together. It's just used too much. I don't like
You probably don't like the word epic. You like that one? Because I feel like people overuse.
I don't like yep. YEP. I hate that.
Yep.
I don't like
I say yup.
I'm starting not to like that either. I don't like name some other words.
I can only name words.
Overused words.
The only one I thought of was epic.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that either.
YOLO?
No, I don't like that.
What are other?
I like the action.
Word? Do you like Word? WR? I like Word.
I like Microsoft Word.
No, I like when people say Word.
No.
What about fire? That's fire.
No.
That's disgusting. I just don't like that because it's disgusting. I don't think there's any words that bother me because they're overused. I like the word cult. That word is powerful. Cult. It's got like a pungence to it, you know?
I don't like the word pungence.
You don't like the word pungence?
No. I like the band Pungent Stench. I met their drummer before.
I think words that bother me, the only ones that bother me are if they make me picture something disgusting.
Oh, like blue waffle.
No, I don't know what blue waffle is, but I don't want to. It sounds.
You ruin your whole night. Don't.
What is it?
Don't.
What is a blue? Now everybody who's watching this is going to look up blue waffle.
Nobody look that up.
What is it?
Warning. Content warning. Don't look that up.
I don't like. I was just talking about this with somebody else. I don't like the word booger.
Okay.
I'm going to say it now, but I don't like it, and I don't like the word poop.
Interesting.
I do not like the word poop. I think it's disgusting. I think you could say shit. I think shit is like...
That's better.
Oh, it's bold. It's like, man, I got to take a shit. It's like you're a fucking man. If you say I got to poop, it's very like, you could picture it. You could picture the shit. I like shit. Shit's nice. Poop is disgusting.
And shit could mean other things. Poop really only means one thing.
I mean, like they have a poop emoji.
Yeah.
You know? And I think that's disgusting. I don't like that. And I don't like the word booger.
Okay.
So those are the only words that...
So you don't like the former WWE champion, Bastion Booger?
I don't know a lot about fighting, but I probably... No, if your name is Booger, that's fine.
That wasn't his real name.
If someone has a nickname that's Booger, I think that's cute. It's like, oh, little Booger.
Like in, I think Revenge of the Nerds, I think somebody's named Booger.
That's cute. But if you actually use the word to describe, like, oh, shit, I have a booger, I don't want to picture it. It's disgusting. You could say snot, which is pretty repulsive too. But for some reason, booger and poop, they're too real.
Oh, another word I don't like, bringer show. Don't like that, especially into 2022, into 2023.
Is that because you just don't like bringer shows?
Now, yeah. I've only done one. And I got paid for it anyway.
I just got invited.
And it was good. I was just thinking about how good it was.
I just got invited to perform a bringer show, but the guy was like, don't worry if you actually bring people. It's just called.
That's not real.
Yeah. That's what he said.
Where is it supposed to be at?
So it's in New York, yeah.
Of course.
The guy was like, it's a bringer show, but I don't give a shit. You don't actually have to bring people.
Is it a legit comedy club?
No. It's at a restaurant.
So that's what. If it was at any kind of named place,
they would definitely.
When we say 5, we don't mean 3. We mean 5, and they are buying things.
Yeah. No, I think.
And they are not on their phone.
So it's a comedian from Philadelphia. He's really fucking talented. He's super good. But
Kevin Hart?
No. I just met him, so I don't remember. He's not like a famous comedian. But he's really good. But this fucked up that I don't remember his name. But Hobson. His last name is definitely Hobson. I don't remember his first name. I'm sorry. But he's really funny, and he runs a show in New York City at a restaurant, and it's like a friend's restaurant, and he's trying to help them out, and they're trying to help him out. It's a relationship they have with each other. But yeah, I don't know. It would be cool. I've never performed at an actual comedy club. I've only ever done. Have you? Have you done shows at comedy clubs? What are some that you've done?
The first was that bringer show. It was at a Gotham Comedy Club.
Oh, no way. That's so cool. That must have been fun.
Greer Barnes was supposed to headline, but he double booked himself that night. So
you were an opener.
I went on towards the middle of the show. Yeah. I believe it was before Greer Barnes. Or maybe like not long. This was a pretty long show. Yeah. And the guy that they ended up getting as the headliner was Jimmy Failla. Oh, who randomly was just available to do it, and he murdered that damn set. And I was glad that everybody that I brought 2 more than I was supposed to. So I mean, that's good right off the bat. Brought 7 instead of 5.
Wow.
Everybody was eating and drinking, and the way I got paid was it was open bar for the performers, and that was back when I was just drinking like a monster.
I can't picture
so if I had actually stayed as long as I normally stay, because I left when my friends left, like we didn't stay long after the show was over, I could have racked up easily a $200 bill for that night, and that would have been like the highest paid show like I may have ever done until years later.
Jesus, wow. How long have you been sober for?
In believe 1 more week it'd be 5 years.
Damn. Mm-hmm. Dude, congratulations. That's awesome. How did you have to go through like a 12-step program, or you did it all on your own? I
realized it was time to stop. Plus I had severe alcohol poisoning at the end.
No way.
Yeah,
what happened?
I vomited all day and felt like garbage for the next day.
Jeez.
Yeah. Don't drink tequila all night long. Don't triple fist tequila. I know that you can't do that, but I did that.
Do you think addiction like that is just in you, or was there like an emotional problem you were trying to?
It was like a ritual.
Huh. That makes sense. I feel like I'm prone to addiction as well. Like I said, I'm a phone addict, and I could, if I'm not careful, I've had slippery slips with alcohol myself. I'm actually in control of it now, but there have been times in my life where I was drinking too much, or I've smoked cigarettes. I've had problems with cigarettes and stuff like that. But I do feel like you're right. It's it's hard to explain. I feel like addiction probably affects everybody differently, but for me it is a ritual, and I do think for me it's an emotional thing too. Whenever I would have a sensation to drink, like I was like, I want to go to the bar, I want to drink, because I've been through years of therapy to figure this all out, what I was really saying was I want to be near people. Like I didn't want to be alone because a bar was a place that you could find people. So I wasn't necessarily...
Not for me, but go on.
I wasn't necessarily addicted to the alcohol. I actually hate being drunk. I just somehow... this isn't alcohol, by the way. We're having a sober podcast today. This is peach seltzer. I'm not sponsored. I'm just letting you know. But it wasn't the alcohol itself that I was addicted to. It was just I associated beverages, alcoholic beverages, with people and not being lonely. So and then somehow I just kept drinking because I was like, people, party, fun.
What she's trying to say is she got wrapped up in the Sex in the City lifestyle and she could not keep up with it. And eventually caught up with them. I heard this new spinoff show is god awful.
Oh, the Sex in the City?
Yeah, I forgot what it's called.
I'm pretty sure I saw the redhead walking in New York City a couple of months ago.
They're 80 years old now.
I saw her in New York City. I saw her walking.
How does she look?
She looked great. The redhead?
I don't believe you.
No, she did. I swear. I'm like 99% sure it was her, because for one, I was in awe when I saw her walking by and I was staring at her, and she kind of looked at me and she just like gave me a look like, yeah, it's me. Like she was on the phone talking to somebody and I was just like, and she was just like, she like nodded.
Watch the new season.
What did you like that series?
No. Fun fact, before I got my first apartment, I lived with my grandmother for 7 months to save up some money for it. And she would religiously watch Sex in the City, not with me. She would like fall asleep to that. And she would always watch The Sopranos. And I tried watching The Sopranos with my grandmom. I tried giving that show a chance.
There's a lot of...
I couldn't get into it.
You don't like
And I'm a bad Italian for admitting that, yeah.
I don't think...
I just didn't like any of the characters.
What?
Because I thought they were all, like, asshole. Like, maybe...
I mean, I would be really...
When I was growing up, like, these people are, like, based on real people. Like, and I dealt with like worse, I feel like, Italians than were portrayed on that show.
Yeah.
And maybe I don't know. And I love Italian gangster movies for the most part.
What
even the bad ones.
Which ones do you like?
I mean, you like a Goodfellas, the Godfather trilogy. I just saw this one. It's not a good movie, but everybody that watches the podcast should check it out. It's called This Thing of Ours. Number one, you should not have named that your movie. Number two, it has half the Sopranos cast in it, acting way more Italian than should be acted. And number three, it involves a cyber crime, which I'm still not sure how they pulled it off during the movie, and let alone if it could even be possible in real life.
By the way, this is what I meant by he's always at 100, because whenever I see him at open mics, he's always fired up about something.
Yeah, and this movie's not good, yet I'm now obsessed with it. So it's on Tubi right now, if you want to check it out for free.
I'm shocked that you don't like The Sopranos.
I'll give it another chance. I'll watch that movie. I'll force myself to watch it out of context, and then I'll watch the whole series.
Like it because you were watching it with your grandma? Because I think I would be really uncomfortable watching something like that with my grandma.
No, because she liked it. It's not like she was trying to give it a chance with me. It's like she already did.
There's a lot of nudity and things going on in that show.
We were both adults at that time, so I mean.
Your grandma's a wild woman. I
her. Guess. Yeah.
How old is she?
At the time, she was in her late 70s.
She's doing good.
Yeah.
How old is she now?
She is old enough to not be alive anymore.
Aw.
I don't mean to laugh at that.
I only have one grandparent.
Oh, I'm sorry, Grandma. Rest in peace, my grandmother.
What was her name?
I'd rather not say. I just said she's...
She could hear you.
Yeah, she's not going to like this part. I have fond memories of living with her and watching Sex in the City and The Sopranos and making food for her and her making me I used to work overnights.
You can cook?
Yeah. I make I'm over 200 deep dishes in Cajun food. That's my favorite. Yeah.
That makes sense that you like Louisiana then. Mm-hmm. So are you big in? You're not into Greek food or?
Oh no, I make a good amount of Greek food too. I've I think 5 or 6 Greek cookbooks and about 24, I think at this point, Cajun cookbooks total.
I just went hard into a Ukrainian recipe because I'm actually not 100% Italian. I'm also part Ukrainian. And I don't really know much about the food or the culture, you know?
I have several Ukrainian friends, and I will say this, and this might piss some people off. Ukrainian women, some of the hottest women I've ever seen in my life. However, at every function that I've gone to, you will see a supermodel Ukrainian woman with either a pretty good looking guy or a guy who's so goofy you're like, how is this even possible that these two people, ethnicity aside, how are they together? And then you think, oh, they're tight because they've grown up, the culture is very tight. Ukrainians are, they speak the language to one another. They have food functions, like, social functions, dances.
So you don't think it's appropriate for a really hot...
Good camps.
You don't think it's appropriate for a hot woman to date an ugly guy?
No.
Really? Would you date a girl that you found less attractive than you?
Severely less attractive? I'm talking like this guy looks like he's out of a fucking Woody Allen movie or one of the Three Stooges, and then like a 10 supermodel in a gown or like some sort of cocktail dress.
I don't know, man. I think
they're out dancing.
This topic's been on my mind a lot lately myself because I'm getting older and I'm 30. I mean,
I am not getting older.
He doesn't ever age. Look at him. He's ageless. I don't know. I used to be big on looks when I was not. I don't want to say I'm not conceited. I'm not conceited. I'm not shallow. But looks were important to me when I was younger. I'm starting to open my mind more as I age to. I mean, I don't know about that much of an imbalance, like 10-2 ratio.
Well, how I would put it is, don't deny what you are attracted to.
Let's just put it this way. When I was in my 20s, I probably would have been like, he has to be a 7 or up. And that's it. In my 20s.
Age 7?
No. in the attractive scale.
Right.
When I was in my 20s, I was like lifting heavy weights and I was,
you're a power lifter.
I was like really into my health and I'm still into that stuff as well. But I don't know, as I age, I'm like, I really do think personality and sense of humor shines. And I do see sometimes really hot girls with less attractive guys. And I'm like, I would do that now, because I just feel like if a guy treated me well and he had a good soul or a good spirit, you're looking at me like, fuck that shit.
I hear it. I don't see it in life now. But you do you.
Well, okay. How would you rate yourself on your scale? Would you admit?
What's the scale up to?
1 to 10.
Oh, 11.
You give yourself... Come on, your honest answer.
In like somebody else's eyes.
In your eyes.
How I look at like when I look in the mirror.
If you think a poll of people were rating you, what do you think your score would be?
I think it would be an 8.
Okay. If you think you're an 8, what number girl would you? What's the lowest you would go?
11. Not years on the scale.
You would only date up.
11s.
You don't date lower?
No,
Why?
I have to be beyond perfect.
I can't tell if you're joking or serious.
Good.
That's the best kind of jokes there are.
You're not being if somebody is like, "Hey Dan, what's on your mind?" It's like, "Dan, I can't read you at all." I'm like, "Great, perfect."
Do you experience this with women? Do women ask, "What are you thinking?"
That's early on in dating. That's every date.
Do you ask women that too, or women ask?
No.
Them? I feel like that's such a woman thing to be like, what's on your mind? What are you thinking? I don't know why women are like that.
No, because I shouldn't know half the goddamn time. And then the other half, I'm like, Oh, you're thinking about fucking the Sex and the City reboot. Great. Now we have to talk about this for at least 15 straight minutes.
When's the last time you had a girlfriend?
Over 3 years now.
Have you just not found someone you want to date again?
I'm not looking for something serious right now.
Makes sense. You're into the comedy game.
Oh, and I had my heart crushed. So.
Why do guys do that though? Why do guys? Because I know a lot of guys.
That's my fault. I'm not gonna. A lot of people are like, yeah, I'm gonna put it all out there. I'm gonna put it on all social media. How much I'll even say it on 9/11. How much I hate my ex. It's like, no, don't do that. Yeah. Don't hate your ex. Period.
Yeah.
But
what I'm saying is, I don't understand why guys are like that. Because I've known a lot of guys like that. That once they got their heart broken, they're like, I can't date again for 10 years. And I'm like, women are so different.
No, not date. I know now how to never feel that way again. And I told myself, I'm like, I'm never going to feel this feeling. And I don't have to ever again.
You fell in love.
Yeah, for lack of a better term.
And you got crushed. But see, women are so different. Women are like, women fall in love, get their heart broken,
and they could be right back to fucking Snapchat the very next day.
They Snapchat, they cry it out, and in 1 month they'll fall in love again. That's how women are.
And
men are very like, I got crushed, and now I can't ever fall in love again. I'm just like, dude, you're being a bitch. Take a risk. Be a risk taker.
I probably shouldn't admit that now I hate all women. Period.
You don't like women?
No, I'm just kidding.
No,
I will never work on a show with them. Forget it.
No, I know some
guys. You will
guys,
never find me on a flyer with a woman.
I know some guys that genuinely don't like women.
I will never work with a female booker.
Who said I'm a female?
I will never work with someone who identifies as a female booker. Ever.
No, just kidding.
I will never be on a female's podcast.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I feel like a lot of men are like that.
You gotta watch out. When you're vulnerable and you're actually like feeling an overwhelming like rush of painful emotion. You don't want to watch the wrong things or like inundate your mind with the wrong information or the wrong things that people are trying to tell you. Even people that you feel close to.
Like what types of things?
Just like it's like hate all women, fucking work out 24/7, bro. Money means everything in life, and it will cause you to be happy after women treat you bad or whatever. I don't mean to spit at your camera.
No, it's okay. There's like a whole culture behind that. The blue pill or the red pill or whatever the fuck. There's like a culture of men behind that.
Now, terminology aside, I do think that there is a way to approach things in a dominant way and approach things in a passive way. Now, for like if however you want to live your life, if you want to be more successful with women, I think it probably is best to like approach things with a straightforward, dominant, know what you're talking about, and be confident in your actions type of thing, rather than just being like, oh, we can do whatever you want. Where do you want to go for dinner? Or, I want to open up to you about all my emotions and how I feel today. It's like, that's not going to play out long term. Yes. And vice versa. I'll get sick of somebody who just, it feels like they could just say everything. To me, it's like, no, being mysterious has its perks. And dealing with things by yourself.
I have a yes and a no. I agree with you about I think men should plan things. I like that. When men come in with a plan, that's hot. I don't agree about that men shouldn't open up. I think women like a man that opens up.
Oh, no, I don't know.
I would know. I'm a woman. I think women...
Are you?
I think...
You're talking crazy.
I'm a woman. What do
You're
you
a crazy-ass woman.
I think women like a sensitive guy that opens up. But I agree with you on the plans thing. I don't like when a man is like, what do you want to do? I'm like, you fucking... Like if a guy invites me to his house and he's like, what do you want to do? I'm like, I'm at your house. Like, you tell me.
That's not good.
Like, if I invite you to my house, I'm going to have a plan, right? If you invite me to your house, have a fucking plan. Like, don't ask me what I want to do. I don't know. I'm in your territory, you know? So I agree with you.
And you should be interesting enough to actually have something to do.
Yeah, true. Well, so if you had a date right now, what would you plan?
not an abduction. Because some people out there that will be watching this will be like, he's going to kidnap that lady. No, I'm not. No, I would. I like to find out what the person's favorite dish is and make that, because I know I can. Now, there's limits. Like if they say like, I like fucking carrot cake, you know, I've never really baked a lot of things, so I'm not going to make you cake. But if you said something like, my favorite dish is lasagna, let's say, is like a common favorite food, I guess. Yeah, could definitely make that and make it better than the person's ever had it.
That's my move too. That's my move. If I like a guy, I'm like, what do you like? And I make that for him. I wonder how that would
it's a nice thing to do.
I wonder how that would play out if two people who liked to cook could work out. Because I think like hypothetical, if you and I went on a date and I was like, and we were both chefs, that wouldn't work out, because I feel like one person needs to be the shittier
I
chef.
think that could work in like a healthy competition sort of way. It's like, oh, who's better? Who can actually make this? Who can make their favorite food better? You know, like my favorite food is pasticcio. It's like Greek lasagna. But if a woman that I was dating made pasticcio better than I can, that would like.
What about a comedian? What if you dated a woman who was a comedian, but she was way more successful than you?
What, like, you know, TV credits and whatnot?
Yeah.
What you're saying that would have like that would put like a damper
I think it would put stress, because I play piano. I dated.
Wait, is she funnier than me, or is she just like more monetarily successful and like better on social media?
Better at all, like she's better.
She's funnier,
better. That would be an issue, right?
It could turn into one if I started to become self-conscious about myself, but I could always just be like, no, I'm funnier than she is.
Because I dated a guy. My ex, we were both keyboard players, and when we first met,
is he Rick Wakeman by any chance?
No,
from the band. Yeah, I don't think he's in Yes anymore.
No, when we first met, I thought it was like a match.
Or ELO. I'm sorry. Go on.
No, it's okay. I thought it was a match made in heaven that we both played keyboard, but as the relationship progressed, there was a lot of competition there. Like there was a lot
to play keyboard.
To play piano, yeah, because we would do group projects with each other, but there wasn't a place for both of us. Like I could date a musician, one's a drummer, one's a keyboard player, fine, but two keyboard players, it was like I got the spot in the band.
Well, it could be like Mushroom Head. They have two keyboard players, and they're really good.
It didn't work. Like I do feel like there was competition between us, and there wasn't.
You were in the same band together?
At one point we were in the same band together, but what happened was I sang and he played keyboard. But I'm just saying, as a couple, there was just it was like we were too much alike. You know, sometimes it's not good to be too much alike.
Did he play any other instruments?
No, he did, but keyboard was his main thing. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I guess the one thing you could say is that I played classical piano and he played keyboard, so there was a perspective exchange in that way. But I just feel like at the end of the day, we were too similar. It's nice to have a change of perspective. That's why I brought up the thing about the cooking. I'm like, I feel like if two people were really good cooks, that might be a boring relationship. Like, it's nice to have someone who's like, I'm an idiot, I don't know how to cook, and someone would be like, oh, I could cook. But then that idiot has to provide something for you.
Right.
I wonder what they could do.
They're never cooking. unless
suck your dick.
You gave, hey, it's a fair trade-off in my book, my cookbook. No, but like you can always, if you're willing to teach somebody, you know, like when I was, you know, like I was a comedian, but my ex was also a comedian. But I would give her, like she would want me to give her
advice.
Yeah. So that can work out fine.
Was this the one who your heart broke?
I'm not going to go into that.
I'm just curious.
I want to have nice memories at this point.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You know, I can be a little bit of an intrusive podcaster.
An intrusive
and
Nelly.
I respect people's boundaries. Like if people are ever like, no, let's not go there. I'm like, all right. So I don't mean any disrespect if I ask personal questions. It's more that I like to see what people are open to talk about, but if I see that someone's...
I'll slam religion all day, but I really don't want to talk bad about my exes.
Oh, not bad. I never said let's talk bad. But just, I'm curious how the relationship went, you know? But we don't have to talk about it. But...
It ended.
Not everything, not all that ends... I don't know the phrase. Not all that ends... Not all that... I don't know the phrase, or if it's even an appropriate phrase. Things can end on good terms.
I've had relationships end on those, yeah.
Okay, so we've just about hit the hour mark that I usually stop recording. Sometimes we go on for a lot longer.
Oh wait, did you have like actual topics that you wanted to get into? Besides?
No, so I've been usually I come in with a sheet of paper with actual questions, but I've been steering away from that lately, and I've been just going into authentic conversations. It really depends.
This is all going to the CIA, so I'm not.
No, it depends. If I ever interview a guest that I'm like, holy shit, I can't believe so and so is on my podcast, I'll probably come in like very well prepared.
Okay.
Not that I'm saying I don't respect.
Like, here comes all the throwaway questions for this guy.
No. I don't mean it like that. I just mean if I ever interview someone that has like 100,000 followers, some shit like that. Like I'm like, okay, this person, I got to be serious.
Hang on, let me get 1,000 first before we go.
I was pretty serious about Andre Mitchell because I look up to him a lot, and I actually was very careful with him. I had like a whole list, and I was very well thought. But besides certain situations like that, I'm sort of trying to learn to go with the flow better a little bit on my podcast to see how it pans out, and I think it's been going well so far, But anyways, that's the end of the podcast, guys. We're going to wrap it up here because we've been going over an hour. So before we exit, tell them where they can stalk you and find your new specials that are to come and that sort of thing if they want it.
The most recent special, the newest one I'm working on, like I said, it's supposed to be clean, and it will be. That one is called For the Love of God. I hope to record that between May and June of 2023. So I'm working on that right now. The special that I have out right now that you can view and soon listen to on streaming services, because we have it equalized. I cut it down by 15 minutes. I just have to upload it. It's called Utterly Ridiculous. You can find that on YouTube right now. It is on my friend VJ Preziosi's channel, Backwards Entertainment. Just search Daniel Caprio, Utterly Ridiculous, and it'll come up.
I knew there was an otter in there. That's what I had tried to remember. But anyways, that's Daniel Caprio. I had a great time with him on the podcast. Again, it's 2022, and my goal is to get this shit up numbers wise. So if you are new here today, don't forget to hit subscribe, or else you're wasting my time.
Yes,
you're wasting
at Daniel Caprio.
And if you just kind of showed up and you don't know what this podcast is about, you didn't hear the beginning, you skimmed through to the end. This is a video podcast I do on YouTube where I interview comedians and musicians from the New Jersey, Philly, and New York City area. So if you're into that, subscribe, like, share, send it to your mother, send it to your brother, suck your own cock, whatever you want to do.
Don't send it to my mom.
Don't send it to his mother. That's it. Pranzata Podcast, episode 41. Have a good night, guys. Bye.